Was Jesus nailed to the hands or through the wrist? Well, let's look at it. The Bible makes it pretty clear that Jesus was pierced through the hands. Now, some people have objected to that because they say that if you were pierced through the hands, it would not be able to bear your weight on the cross. And what would happen is that the nails would actually rip through your palms. Instead, they suggested that Jesus was in fact pierced to the wrists. So, would that make the Bible wrong? Well, not technically, because the Greek word for hand could also mean wrist, so it was really not a problem. But what about all the paintings and sculptures that show Jesus being nailed through the hands? Are those now inaccurate? Well, probably not. In fact, that is what historians actually think happened, that Jesus was nailed to the cross by his hands. So here's the thing, the use of nails with crucifixion was not a necessity. In fact, when we're looking at it from a historical perspective, what we see is that people were actually tied to the cross. That, yes, they didn't have to have nails in any part of their body, but instead their arms were tied to the cross. Now, when it came to the feet, often there would be some type of ledge there, not where they would be standing on firmly, but just below their toes, so that they would really have to stretch out in order to find any type of support there. And this is really what helped the crucifixion be so torturous. The crucifixion was supposed to be slow and painful, and the way that you would actually succumb to death is through asphyxiation. So, with your arms outstretched and you not being able to get a good footing in order to support yourself to be able to expand your lungs, what would happen is that you simply would not be able to get enough oxygen, and slowly you would fade away. So, where do the nails come into play? If they're not meant to support you on the cross, what were they, there to do? Well, often they would go through the hands in order to just cause more pain, to cause more torment. This was really just adding insult to injury because by having your hands pierced, you'd be piercing those nerves and it would cause a lot of damage throughout your entire body. You would have this pain shooting across you while also dying from asphyxiation. It was just adding to the torture that was happening. As for the feet, well, it was really just a different way to be able to allow that person to lift their body up a little bit and get some of that breath. It really added pain to the whole process while also allowing them to prolong the agony. So, when we're looking at Jesus specifically here, he was most likely bound to the cross with rope, and then he had nails driven through his hands in order to just add to the agony there. So, yes, when we're looking at Jesus, he was most likely pierced through the hands.